In this video, we are now going to talk about my one and only favorite character so far in this game, which is Bucket. And boy and girl had rescued Bucket from the orphanage that could possibly be the one that they all grew up in. And of course, Bucket is my favorite. Just looking at the character, Bucket looks so adorable, don't get me wrong. Like someone I can hug and comfort. And I'm so glad that they had created Bucket this way. And from what we can tell from this chapter of the game, it could be a possibility that Bucket had endured abuse in the past. Probably in the orphanage, which explains everything that we have encountered in this chapter. But even from the dialogue and what we've seen from Bucket seems so spirited, and it seems like that's who Bucket was in the past. Before his before their childhood innocence has been taken away. In this chapter, also, we encounter children who were made of, I believe it's dust. And also a spider-like hairy creature, which I think it's called the Mother, which has human arms as the legs. That monstrous form can be, once again, a mirror of Bucket's past life. Because as we said, characters will have their own troubled past that will haunt them. I also wanted to talk about the orphanage because that could have possibly be the factor of the corruption with the characters. Well, except for one particular character, but I'll get to that character in another video. We could tell in the game from the excessive amount of beds that the orphanage was a overcrowded place that can result to emotional abandonment, forgotten, their innocence slowly being taken away. We see this as an example with the statues of the children in the orphanage that I really think that they're made of dust and they were either standing up or on the ground. And it seems like possibly not all the orphans got along very well, which explains the behavior of the children attacking boy and girl. Bucket and this mother Spidey, spider hairy creature are somehow connected because the creature could perhaps represent Bucket's guilt. Now, we don't know the specifics of the things Bucket has done in the past besides the sacrifice, but this is guilt over harmful behavior, since it resembles closely like a spider, in which we think the monstrous form is having traits and similarity characteristics from the design. Bucket could have possibly had really bad anxiety and fear, especially living in the orphanage, but Bucket could have also been abused, like I mentioned earlier. Just looking at the character's design, Bucket is kind of like on the pudgy side, don't get me wrong. So it could also be another result of the abuse and what led them to be corrupted. Now, this monster is also symbolizes the entrapment for what Bucket has done in the past, especially to Girl. It's like the idea of, I know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it anyways. So we can see that as a concept of Bucket feeling human but monstrous because of what they have done. It also explains the death as well when they were beaten badly and kicked off the ledge. Now, the kids at the orphanage were forgotten and detached from the emotions, the neglect, which symbolizes what dust means. That's why we see dust of children figures. Dust is an example of what remains after destruction. And like I said, we don't know specifics of Bucket's past. of the things they done specifically, but what we can tell from this chapter and the monster, what we were getting kind of like a significant a reaction out of what we were collecting, especially with the design of the monster with the human hands, specifically. So that's all I could put together from the analysis between Bucket and the mother. So if you guys have any comments, feedback, make sure you just go ahead and type away down in the comments below, and make sure you like and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in, because now we're going to get into the next character, Boy. And then we're going to get into knowing about the girl and the connection between her and the sheep.